Alrighty, what is up, guys? I don't even low-key want to make this video, but it is because I had plans to make another video. Does this work? Yes, it looks like it's working. I had plans to make another video, but it didn't work out. And it didn't work out because I just did not have the energy to do it, or the mental capacity to try to make a video about trading right now. And this is sometimes a point where I feel like everyone gets to, and making this video is a little hard, but it's because I want to be able to showcase. Okay, so if you're new to like recording and stuff, it takes a while to start getting it down on like how the microphone works, if it's picking up the audio, if you're being loud enough. But I really like this mic. It was a birthday gift from my brother. So I'm going to be talking into this for the rest of the video. So yeah, I think a lot of people want to do great things. I know I want to do great things, but great things require a great amount of work, especially because I'm trying my hardest to be a funded trader. And besides being a funded trader, I have other business, I guess, like achievements that I want to do, and wanting to become not just an average trader. I want to become a really good trader, a professional trader. I want to get to the top level, and it takes time. And I think that's what this video is really about, is just being real with you, with the camera, straight up, that shit takes time. And I guess you could consider this to be the first podcast. And I feel like if you're watching this, remember one thing: things take time. Yesterday I got some bad news too, over a friend that passed away, and made me think a lot about life, made me think a lot about myself as a father, made me think a lot about myself as a son, as a husband, and like everything that you do like on this planet. It's like we're working really hard. I'm working really hard to become a funded trader, and to open a business, and to make money, and to work out, and to achieve all these things. But then at the end of the day, you're gonna die, so none of it is gonna matter anyways, which is okay when you're not really thinking about death, when you're not really thinking about what happens when you die, when you're just sort of cruising through life. I think the thought of that is okay. But then things happen, which is inevitable, right? Someone passes away, and it makes you think about a lot of things that you do, things that you go through, emotions that you feel. And because we're all human, we're all human. Like, this could be the last video I make, and it could not. But that's exactly where I guess I'm trying to get to, is that like the uncertainty of life is what gives us the motivation, because every moment could be your last. And that at times is hard to accept, that like today, if I didn't like the result of what today happened, let's say, but I put in my all and I pass away right now, it's not going to matter. It may matter to like people that I leave behind, but to me, myself, it's not going to matter. Let me move this camera. Yo. Anyways, I had to do some shit, and that's why I had to leave for 1 second. Let's check this out. But yeah, guys, shit gets tough at times, and I guess this is why I'm making this video, is that when things get tough, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna give up? Are you gonna keep going? Because a lot of times when you think of giving up, it's not based off of like, I don't know, some random when you think of giving up, it's not really based off of like some random emotion that you feel. It's based off of failures that you experience that make you want to give up. And when you want to give up, you get into like this, I guess this state, at least for me, I get into this state of not wanting to do anything, just like sitting down, scrolling through TikTok, scrolling through, like Instagram, social medias. And that's when I feel like giving up. And what I do is pretty much just chill, don't do anything. I just sort of think of like the process. And I even have in the back over here, I don't know if you can tell, it says focus on the process. And that's pretty much the only thing you can do. If you feel like you're giving it your all, if you feel like you're trying as hard as you can, but at the end of the day, there's still always going to be something that you feel like you could try harder in. And in those moments, you just sort of have to be real with yourself. Like, did you try as hard? Did you bullshit yourself? Did you, not go to the gym when you said you were going to? Did you not shoot the video you said you were going to shoot? Did you not follow, your trading plan? Did you do all these things? And sometimes when you don't, and you don't get that, I guess you're not disciplined enough to do it, is when you feel like giving up. Now there's the other side where you feel like giving up because of emotional things that are going on in your life that don't necessarily indicate whether you're disciplined or not. Just a bad day or a breakup or something that doesn't have to necessarily do with your discipline. Also, those things can make you feel like giving up. And that's where right now, like me making this video, I was supposed to make another video and I didn't want to. I just dead ass did not want to make another video about talking about 5 scalping mistakes, because I do want to talk about it and I am going to make a video about that. But right now, I just don't have the energy to talk about that bullshit right now. But I'll talk to you guys about my trades, and my trades are getting better. I ended up with 2 losses though. So how are they getting better? Well, it's because I'm following my system. Losing is hard, but losing and not knowing why you lose is harder. Because when you don't know why you lose, you really don't understand what you're doing. When you understand why you lose is when you sort of start to understand what you're doing. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm sort of starting to understand what I'm doing. So now that I'm sort of starting to understand what I'm doing, I start to see why I lose. So the last 2 trades that I lost, which I'll show you guys here, ended up being because of systematic. They weren't. Let's see. Give me a second. They weren't just L's just to be. They weren't just emotional L's. They were L's that were emotional. Not emotional. They were L's that were systematic. And it's funny even me saying that, because all my losses have been emotional, like because of myself, not because of like my system, because I had no fucking idea what my system was. But now that I'm getting more and more in tune with what my system is, I'm starting to understand what it is that I have to do. So today when I took the 2 L's, I could have managed it, but I just wanted it to hit my stop loss. Like I wanted it to either go in my favor or go against me. I didn't want it to be like sort of in the middle. I was like, either this bitch works or this bitch doesn't, and that's kind of how today ended up. I followed my entry signals, break of structure, stochastic. I got in with the limit order and I waited. The only thing I could have done better today was moving my stop loss once I had hit 50%. That is the one thing that I could have done better with. But shit happens. What are you going to do about it? So yeah. And just thinking about life today. Thinking about everything. I turned 22 this week. Tomorrow, actually. I turn 22 tomorrow. And I've been thinking about it the last few years, what I've been able to accomplish, and also the things that I haven't accomplished. And it's beautiful. I feel extremely lucky. I feel extremely blessed. But I also feel like I could have done better. I also feel like I could have worked harder. I also feel like... That's my dog. I also feel like if I am to get to where I want to get, if I am to pursue what I want to pursue, I can't give up. I can feel that. I can hear it out. I can let that fear, that greed, whatever it is that's inside of me, I can let it talk to me. I can let it tell me. I can let it tell me that, like, you're not enough. I can let it tell me that I need to try harder. I will let it tell me the things I need to get better at. Then I'll write them down up on my board or on my phone or on my computer. And then I will take the conclusions of the things I do need to get better at. And then I will move on. I will not negotiate with my fear. I will not negotiate that I need to get better. Because I do. All of us do. But there's no negotiating. I'm fucking doing this. I'm fucking getting there. There's nothing stopping me. And the only thing I have to do is show up every day. All I have to do. Show up every day. And today was one of the days I didn't feel like showing up. In front of this camera, didn't want to show up. Learning how to learning how to connect the audio with the camera because they're not connected. Didn't want to learn how to do that. Took 2 L's on trading. And when you take an L on trading, even if it is systematic, because I know the system and I know that my trades lost were on a system. It was not because of like some bullshit that I just pulled out of a hat. It was because of a system. But even if it was because of a system, it still does make me feel a little sad. Even if it wasn't an emotional trade. Even if I understand that I was risking this percentage, that I was understanding this, it still feels a little tough. Now, again, this is where I said I don't negotiate with these emotions because I will allow myself to feel them. I will allow myself to feel the emotion. But now acting out on the emotion is different. I'm not going to act out on the emotion. I'm not going to get back into the market. I'm not going to just sit here for 35 fucking minutes wallowing and complaining. I did my second post of the day. And I'm doing those reps. Some days you do better reps. Some days you do reps after fucking reps. Some days you're fucking on it. Some days you're on fucking fire. Some days you just don't want to do it. It's that, oh, let me stay in bed. It's that, oh, I already worked pretty hard yesterday. Today I don't have to do it. It's that, well, I already won one trade. I don't need to trade again. It's that, well, I already went to the gym yesterday. It's that, well, it's that bullshit. Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't a time to rest and that there isn't a time to re-energize. But sometimes you need to learn how to move. What do I mean by that? Sometimes you need to learn how to maneuver situations. Today, the trades I took were placed under a good system. But could I have maneuvered myself in a better way? And the answer is yes, I could have maneuvered myself in a better way. But I didn't. So when you are in a situation like where you don't feel so hot, you may not do as much as what you normally could do, but you still do it. For example, if you feel like shit and you don't want to go to the gym, go to the gym. Even if you show up in the parking lot and you're just sitting there for 15 minutes to get out of your car, go. Because once you're in that gym, you're going to warm up. You're going to feel like, oh, I don't really want to do this right now. You're going to sit on, let's say, I don't know, whatever you're doing. Let's say you're doing squats. You're going to be right under the bar. If you know the weight you're going to do, let's say you're going to do 145 pounds, do 125 pounds, do 100 pounds. It doesn't matter. Just do it. Just do the rep. And tomorrow, when you're feeling on top of the world, you can come back and give it your all. But today, if you don't feel that way, just hang in there and just do the rep. Just do the repetition. Because over time,